Hiya and welcome to itsycrafty. If you'd like to see me create this future log in my Archer and Olive A5 bullet journal, then please stay watching. This is currently completely blank. I only just received it, and I'm going to make a Dutch door future log inspired by AmandaRachLee. The first thing I want to do is apply the vinyl to the piece of vellum before I cut the vellum and attach it into my journal. I've just cut the page in half up along here, just so I can stick each part in here. So this side of the page is going to go here, and then I need enough pages for the days of the month with 2 months on each page. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and this page wants to be here. Vellum is a little bit tricky to attach to things without seeing what you've attached it with. So I like to use just a very thin score tape normally when I'm attaching vellum, particularly into pages of a journal, and then it's not that easy to actually spot. So what I'm going to do is go along the edges of the journal and put the glue onto there. So when I say glue, this is a double-sided tape called score tape. And I'm just going to cut the tape there and basically just tape all the sides. I'll just double check the size of this. I'm pretty sure on this side it more or less covers the whole thing. But I have put the double-sided tape in a tiny bit from the edge, just because I don't want tape where I'm not going to cover it with vellum. So now I just need to peel all of this tape off. Sorry, not the tape, the backing, leaving the double-sided tape on the page. And then I carefully need to try and pop my piece of vellum onto the tape. So just starting from the bottom center bit here, I'm going to lay that bit down and try and have it going along the bottom. I think I've got it crooked. I've put it on a little bit crooked. And one of the fantastic things about score tape is how well it does actually attach. Luckily, vellum is a little bit forgiving, so you can peel the vellum off the tape. Right, I'm going to try going up the center instead. I think going up the center was a little bit safer. And now what I need to do is just trim this little bit off here and cut the little corner pieces off so that that fits. And then attach the other side exactly the same. Then I can make my little Dutch door months. Always when you're doing something like this with something in the middle, it's worth just double checking the number of pages between. So we should have 6 sides to the page because we're putting 2 months on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll adhere this one down here. This one is a bit narrower than the page. You can see there it's going to have a little bit of a white border either on that edge or in the center. I think I'll put it right up against the center there and then just have a little bit of an edge there. So I'll put my glue down on here. And then just the same thing as before, just peel all the double-sided tape liner off and put the vellum down on top. Hopefully this time I do it first time. So I want the bottom to be along the bottom here. Okay, it's not perfect, there's maybe a millimetre on the bottom, but really that's the beauty of handcrafted. Okay, and now we'll cut this off. Now we've got the future log there, and then my actual future log is going to be on these pages here. So I need to cut these pages down. So first of all, I need to decide how wide I want my months to be to make sure I have enough space for them, and then cut each of the pages down to that size. Okay, I've just used the top here to come up with a few layouts for the months, because I want to put 2 months down there. I'm thinking these are the 7 days of the week for the 2 months, so I'm thinking maybe a 2 grid, 3 grid, 2 grid, and then maybe 2 grids for a tab. I saw AmandaRachLee had a tab on each side, which was quite cute, so I might sort of imitate that. So to start, I think I'll just cut along here, and I can always cut a little bit more off, but I can't add on. So I'm thinking there, and then I certainly need to chop enough off so that I can see the text. So that would be down to there. I think I'm just going to cut 2 rows off at the bottom. And I'm going to do this with all of the pages and then see what I have. So to cut along the middle, I'm just going to lift it up and just cut there. Okay, this is starting to reveal how it's going to look. I'm actually thinking I should have cut all this before I put my vinyl down, but never mind, we'll make it work. I'm just a bit concerned cutting here because I do have the sewing which attaches the signature, so I don't want to cut through the sewing there. So I just need to be a little bit careful, I think. And I'm not entirely sure how, whether I need to actually leave a little bit. So what I've done here is I've actually left a little bit there so that the sewing is not going to completely unravel, I think, on these pages, hopefully. So now what I have is the background for the future log, and I need to put my calendars in here. This is an acrylograph pen from Archer and Olive. It's a 0.7mm tip. It's like an opaque paint pen, and I received it in the December subscription box that I also received this A5 journal in. I'm just going to use it behind the names of the month. So I'll write the names with the white acrylograph pen. The white one I received in the tropical pen set, and this will be the colour. And pretty much all I'm doing is colouring in 7 squares to represent sort of each of the days of the week, but I'll write the month in those squares. So just 7 squares, 3, the pens also come in a 3mm tip, which is much better for colouring in large bits, but the 0.7mm tip are quite versatile because they're also very good for writing. So pretty much just like that, and I'll wait for that to dry before I write on it, and then I want another box for my next month. Now it's a case of just waiting for those to dry for a little bit before writing on them in the white pen, and I'll basically go through all 12 months and do that. And also I want to cut the tabs for the side here. So I've realised I've got 31 boxes high. Because I want to have 3 tabs for the 3 different pages, it would be best to cut one more line off the bottom here, so each tab could then be 10 rows high. So I think what I'm going to go and do is just cut one more line off all of these. And now for the tabs, I'll mark 10, 20, 30 and then cut to the relevant mark. I'll come back to that once I've filled in all of my calendar and everything. But first of all, I just wanted to show you writing on here and filling in the calendar, and then basically I'm just going to do that for all of the pages. One thing I also thought I might do, I have some stickers left over from Whale Song, the kit from Planners Anonymous, and I thought I might use some of these number stickers just to represent the month. So I can pop the month in the middle square along here and do that for all 12 months. Now I've got my white acrylograph marker in the 0.7mm, and I'm just going to write the name of the month along here. Just like so, and then that will dry soon and I can flip the page and carry on. And now I just need to write my calendar days in. The 1st of January is a Friday, and I'm going to start my week with Monday. I'm not actually going to write Monday to Sunday here because I just always start my week on a Monday. So I've got one here for Friday, and I'm just going to continue doing that. And this is just a 0.35mm pen. I've now completed the calendars for each month of 2021, and I have a decorative outline here. I might do something further here, but now what I want to do is just basically write on the tabs. I have some stickers from the whale song kit from Planners Anonymous left over, and I was actually thinking about using some of these larger splashes on the tabs here for writing on. I've now finished the setup for my 2021 future log. So I have the beautiful vellum from the whale song kit from Planners Anonymous. I've just added a little sticker just there, just to help center this on the page a little bit more. And then you can see I've just set up all the calendars, and I need to write various appointments and things into here. So that's that. I hope you've enjoyed watching this tutorial. At the end of the video, following straight on from this, I have a step-by-step tutorial showing how I created this text in Cricut Design Space and cut it using my Cricut Joy machine. So if that's something you're interested in looking at, then please just keep continuing watching this video. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and maybe I'll catch you in a future video. Bye! The first thing we need to do is actually create the text to cut out. So we do this in Cricut Design Space. You can see here I've created the text future log, and I just did this. This is using Cricut Design Space on Apple. I don't have many fonts here. I haven't added any into it at the moment, and I don't really have access to all of Cricut's fonts, because I need to pay for them individually as I don't have the monthly access at the moment. But I'll just show you how to add text. So you've got a text bar down the bottom. It's very similar in Android, or it'll be similar using Windows. And you can see all of your Cricut fonts, for example, and all of your system fonts. And if you go to all, then it combines the two. And then this little thing here is a filter. So you can, for example, filter to see only the fonts that you own, or just Cricut Access fonts, or all fonts. So I'll just pop that on my fonts. And you can see I don't really have access to a huge amount of fonts. So I just selected one of those. And just for now, I'll just select a different one, just to show you what I've done to create this future log. So you have your text box, and then just using the keyboard, just type in whatever it is that you want to have, and then just click outside of the box to finish. You can resize this using the arrows here, and you can go down to Edit and Letter Spacing. If you click on that, you can press the minus button there and reduce the spacing between the letters. You can see there the letters are getting closer together. And also you can go to Actions, and you can ungroup all of the letters, and that way you can individually move letters also, if that's what you want to do. Particularly with script fonts, then you need to move them individually in order to get everything to line up. And then after you've moved them all, this is particularly with script fonts, you want to go to Actions again and press the weld button, and that way you just get one cut. In this case it doesn't apply, as each letter's an individual letter. If you've got a script font with connectors between the letters, it will cut each letter individually, but by pressing weld it actually combines all of that into just one cut. You can then resize to the size that you actually want it to be, and if you unlock the dimensions, that means it's free for all, and you can actually change the font quite a lot by changing both dimensions. It doesn't fix the font anymore. I'm just going to delete that one, and I'm just going to use this simple one that I've created here. So what I want to do is I want to go to Make It, and I'm going to make it on a matte, as I'm just using a little offcut of vinyl that I have here. I only really need a piece that covers the little bit of the font there, but it's just as easy for me just to cut this bit off, and I can reuse whatever I don't use now. Now that I've taken the protector off the mat, then the mat is sticky and I can pop the vinyl down and just smooth that out. And now what I want to do is hit continue, and I need to select my Joy to print to. Print, I'm not printing, I'm cutting. And now I just need to select the vinyl, so I'm not using smart vinyl. I'll just go to all materials and I'll just search vinyl. I'm not entirely sure which vinyl I'm using. I think I'm using a premium vinyl. And now I just need to load the material into the machine. Just move my cup of tea. And now I just need to hit the go button. And you can see on screen it says it's cutting and you can hear it. And you use your device to say unload, and it will unload the mat. I think things went a little bit fuzzy there on camera, so sorry about that, but all it's done is basically cut my design out there, and I'm just going to peel that off the mat, and I'll just cut that little design out to weed. You can see here it's cut the words future log out. It's a bit hard to see white on white. I've just got a Cricut weeding tool, and now I'm just going to remove the vinyl from around there. I'll just grab my mat. And just taking the corner of the vinyl, I should be able to peel it off. Because it's quite a simple font, I'll be able to remove most of it really in one go. Hopefully you can see in one go we've got most of that off, and we've just got some little bits like in the center of the O, etc. So I just need to remove all those little bits. I'm just going to use my fingernails. Obviously I can use the weeding tool, I'm just being a bit lazy about it. And we've got the centre of the E, and that's it. So that's all we had to weed. And now I have my vinyl and I've weeded all around it, so I've just got the letters future log. The next step is just to get a little bit of transfer tape to transfer the vinyl to the vellum. Transfer tape can be reused. You don't need a new piece for every single thing you do. And actually in this case, I think I might want to make it a little bit less sticky, because I'm just concerned with the thinness of the vellum, that the sticky transfer tape may rip it. I just want to take some of the stick out of the transfer tape, so I'm just going to apply it to my sleeve, and that will just take some of the stick off it, and that way I won't rip my vellum at all. I always take the tack off the transfer tape when I'm applying vinyl to paper, because paper, especially a matte paper, can rip really easily with the transfer tape. I think the vellum will be a lot better, but just to be safe. And now I'm just going to burnish along the top there to try and get the vinyl to stick to the tape. And then just press down on the reverse side also. And then just peeling away from the corner there. And if a little bit doesn't come, just give it a little bit more of a push down. Just try it from the other side. It seems to, the R seems to have cut through a little bit of the shiny lining there, which is where it was sticking. So when something like that happens, if you start peeling it from the other side, it seems to work pretty well. Now that I've got my vinyl cut and transferred, I need to work out where to put it on the page. So I want to use it in this journal, and I'm just going to go to the first open section in the journal. So it's a few pages in, and this is where my future log's going to be. And I'm going to attach the vellum down here. So this will be the middle of the page. So you can see the vellum. This vellum's from the Whale Song Kit by Planners Anonymous. It's a few millimeters not wide enough this way and about 1 centimetre too wide this way, just because it's US letter compared to the A5 journal opened up. And I want to put my future log somewhere along the top there. I've just noticed it's basically going to be white on white. I think what I'm going to do actually is pop it over this side on the purple. There are lines on the transfer tape to try and line it up, but I'm really just eyeballing it. It's close enough. Just give it a bit of a push down. And I'll just give it a bit of a burnish with this. And then take the corner of my transfer tape, which is coming off really easily because I did take a lot of the stick off on my clothing. And you can see that because if you look up close, you can see little bits of red fluff on it. This will still be able to be reused for something else though, so I'll pop that back on its backing just here, and I can reuse that another time. So generally after I apply vinyl, I just use my finger as well, just to make sure all the little edges and so on are down. And now what I need to do is adhere that into the book here.